Okay. 7 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. I am Elena De Jesus. So excited to be here. I am the PNAA ByLaws Chair, and on behalf of the committee, I would like to officially welcome you to tonight's ByLaws Forum. For the past few terms, a ByLaws Forum had been created to fulfill that part of the amendment process, the one where we as a committee have to disseminate information to the general membership, in addition to the previous email sent prior to the General Assembly at the National Convention this year, going to be in Colorado Springs in July. For those of you who are going, wait a minute. For those of you who are going as delegates of your respective chapters and regions, it is our desire for you to have a complete understanding of these proposals before casting your vote at the General Assembly. And for those who will not be able to join us this time, it is our hope that may we collectively learn from tonight's discussion. Before I call on past PNAA President May Mayor, let me please present to you the members of the ByLaws Committee. Each one will be taking active roles tonight and will be proudly representing the 4 regions of PNAA. Angelo. Okay. Here are our committee members and advisors. We have May Mayor and Ray Rivera as our advisors. Jay La Rosa is our executive board liaison. Jen Hazel Baker from the NCR. Lourdes Carriaga from ER. Ronnie Bunao from Western Region. Maricar Gomez, NCR Copper. Marites Calvelo from the South Central Region Copper. Jonathan Gapilango, Eastern Region Copper. Catherine Rubio, Western Region Copper. Mary Didin Orola, Eastern Region Representative. Mary Ann Neely was the immediate past Copper of SCR. And we have Army Norwood representing the South Central Region. Okay, at this point, I would like May Mayor to say something, message for all of us. I am so excited to see a lot of familiar faces, familiar advisors in the past. I see Dr. Tuason is there. Manny Ramos is also there. I can see everybody right now, but I see all old friends and PNAA family members. And May Mayor, like I said, is one of our beloved advisors, and she is also the architect of the Balikturo program. So without further ado, May.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Greetings and good evening to all. Thank you for joining us tonight for a very important session on the PNAA bylaws. Bylaws are the foundation and core of an organization, association, corporation, or business entity. In our families, we have certain rules and regulations that frame our family. And let's say your father will say to you, in this family, you cannot have boyfriends until you're 18 years old, or we go by the 10 commandments. In hospitals, clinics, business entities, there are always bylaws that are reviewed and scrutinized by regulatory agencies, such as the Joint Commission, looking at how a hospital is operated and what are the rules and regulations. As a backstory to my history of PNAA bylaws, Dr. Purita Asperilla, the founding advisor of PNAA in 1979, together with Filipinas Lowery, I think she was the 5th president, were crafting and creating the PNAA bylaws that was put into effect on April 29, 1979. And I was in the kitchen and they would say to me, is this the right language? Is this the right sentence? And so I was already part of the wordsmithing of the PNAA bylaws that was created in April 1979. ANA and other nursing organizations also have bylaws, and that was some of the comparative bylaws that PNAA went by. Bylaws, as the foundation and core of an organization, should be reviewed and amended according to some of the criteria and policy that surround us, as well as policies and procedures, as well as rules established by the government and Congress. And so PNAA is part of that review, looking at the regulatory mandates, statutes, labor laws, and regulations. And so, in reflection, good luck to all of us in PNAA as we move forward, looking at ourselves as well as the rules and regulations that we abide by. Good luck to all of us in PNAA. We are a stronger organization for having a good bylaws. Good luck, everybody. Thank you. Where's Elena? I'm not sure who is next.
Jonathan Gapilango's next.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So, hi, good evening, everyone. This is Jonathan Gapilango, the capper from the Eastern region. And before we start, I just want to share with you a very short reflection. So, on behalf of the PNA Bylaws Committee, I am grateful for each and everyone tonight, also for the unity and shared commitment, not only of our members, but of the leaders as well of PNNA in advancing the mission, and of course, the nursing profession. Volunteerism is at the heart of our organization, and it's very inspiring to see individuals, journalists give their time, talents, and energy in service to others without expecting anything in return. As volunteers, we are called to place the organization's goals above personal interest and set aside individual feelings and differences for the greater good. By focusing on our common purpose, we can work together with respect, professionalism, and collaboration to strengthen PNAA and make a meaningful impact on the communities that we serve. As Mahatma Gandhi wisely said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. This quotation reminds us that genuine services requires humility, selflessness, and a willingness to put the needs of the organization on those who serve ahead of our own preferences. May these experiences reinforce the importance of unity, volunteerism, and servant leadership, because we know when we work together with a shared vision in a spirit of cooperation, we honor the values of PNAA, elevate the nursing profession, and create a lasting positive impact for future generations to come. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Gapilango. And we'd like to call in Tita Elena if you're there. If not, we're going to proceed with Lourdes Carriaga to provide to us our objectives.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our forum today. I just wanted to present the main objective for this forum. Our bylaws committee really just simply wanted to engage PNAA members in a sincere, transparent discussion of the proposed bylaw amendments and support informed decision-making regarding their adoption. This is a great opportunity for us as members to think about whether the proposed changes and amendments will improve governance, clarify procedures, and better serve our organization's mission and its members. On July 18, I think the National Convention will convene and hold its General Assembly, and hopefully with all your delegates and with you as active members, be able to vote and provide your informed decision on whether the bylaw amendments will be successfully adopted or not. I now forward the rest of this presentation for my committee members to share the bylaw amendments and offer you the platform to discuss and provide opportunity to ask questions about it. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can you show the proposals now, Angelo? Okay. Okay, Maricar Gomez and Mary Ann Neely are gonna present this.
Yes, thank you for coming tonight. We did want to give you this information so that you will be well informed when it comes time to vote during the General Assembly at the 46th PNAA, 47th PNAA in Colorado Springs. So these proposals have been brought to us from the Nominations and Elections Committee, and I will be reading to you the current and then Maricar will go and give you what the proposal is. So in regards to Section 1 of the Nominations and Election Committee, currently it states that the Nominations and Elections Committee shall consist of 5 members representing various geographical areas in the country appointed by the immediate past president and approved by the executive board.
So the proposed bylaw amendment to this would be that the nominal committee will consist of a chairperson and 8 members representing the 4 regions, Eastern, Western, South Central, and North Central, with 2 members elected from each region. So the main change is that the number of people on this committee will have increased from 5 to 8 to ensure fairness and transparency. And then members are elected rather than being appointed.
And you can see the rationale there. It ensures the fairness and transparency throughout the election process, and also develops national and regional leaders as well. So Section B currently states the immediate past president shall assume the chair position and appoint committee members.
Our bylaw amendment proposal would be that the immediate past president will assume the chair position. So the section on appointing committee members has been removed. And this encourages members to seek election to the non-elect committee to prevent bias and promote fair representation.
Again, the rationale is there. It reflects the change from proposed A. It also encourages the members to seek election to the nominating committee to prevent bias and promote fair representation. As you can see, there will be equity amongst the regions. On Section C, currently it says the appointees must have been active members of the association for 2 consecutive years preceding the appointment.
The amendment proposal states that there are 8 candidates that must have been active members of the association for 2 consecutive years before nomination. So this amendment shows the increase of members to 8 and the need for 2 consecutive years prior to nomination, changing the term from appointment to nomination. And the rationale for this is to ensure that candidates have a strong understanding of the association's mission, vision, and goals, and builds mutual credibility, legitimacy, and trust among members.
Is there a way to increase the font?
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry.
Mary Ann, can you maximize your screen, please? Thank you.
I think Angelo has the slides.
Okay, I turned it up now. I'm so sorry. I lost my connection, so I had to go on my phone. Oh, I still works. Okay, off na ako nito.
It's better now.
Okay, well, let's continue to Section D, the duties and responsibilities of the Nomination and Elections Committee. 1. Initiates and coordinates the solicitation, reviews, and presents candidates for national and regional office. 2. Issues circulars and announcements to potential regional and national candidates. 3. Prepare and issues nomination and election packets to potential candidates. 4. Prepares a list of nominees accompanied by a written consent to serve and submit this to the executive board for information and review 90 days prior to the election. 5. Facilitates display of candidacy materials at regional and national convention meeting events. 6. Prepares with website committee electronic ballots for one-to-one voting members access.
Uh,
7.
oh,
Announces election results to executive board within 24 hours and of end of voting. And 8. Destroys, deletes electronic ballots upon approval or by a motion by the executive board.
the bylaw amendment proposal only affects Section 1, and so Sections 2 to 8 have no recourse. So the only change in Section 1 reads that NOMELEC will initiate and coordinate the review process and presents candidates for the national and regional offices. The big change is that they have removed the solicitation of candidates. So NOMELEC committee will no longer solicit candidates. We want them to volunteer their service. The rationale states that it enables passionate and committed members to volunteer their service at the national and regional levels and ensures transparency and prevents bias and conflicts of interest. And those are all of the amendment proposals.
I
Was I
believe
on mute the entire time?
somebody's raising their hands for question. Tita Lolit?
Yeah. Are you going to discuss all of this first and then you will entertain question afterwards? Because as we move, this is a discussion and clarification. That's why it's a good opportunity for questions. Are you going to do number A and then go to A, or you want to finish everything first?
That is all
Madam Chair, I just have a clarification on number 1. Just to clarify before it goes to the general, might be clarified at the General Assembly. Is the committee prepared to do this?
Ate Lolit, I think
Yeah.
you could proceed if the amendments had already been presented. the committee would be open to having the Q&A session of this discussion, because this is exactly what the forum is all about. So please do so.
Oh, I could ask now?
Yes.
Go ahead, Tita.
Okay. Okay. So the clarification for the proposal. Who, at this point in time, we have a current nomination and election committee, the NOMELEC to be short.
Mhm.
If this pass in July convention, who will be taking over to take care of this particular responsibility to start soliciting people to run for office representing the 4 regions? Who will be taking over? That's the clarification.
This is Jennifer Dizon po. Can I answer the question?
Go ahead, Dr. Dizon.
Okay, so Jennifer Dizon, co-chair of the PNAA NOMELEC committee. When we were discussing the amendments, we were not expecting that this is going to be in practice in the coming term of the incoming sets of officers. So there would still be no appointed NOMELEC members because we would still have to approve this at the General Assembly. It might not be, it will not be during Colonel Gahol's term, but the implementation will be during Dr. Ramos's term. Because we know that it will take time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, Jennifer, what exactly you said. So if this is going to be at the term of money, money will be sitting on 2028 to 2030. So this particular amendment will only take place from 2030 to 2032. Because it will only happen at the time of money.
Yes, so during the time of Colonel Gahol, there would still be an appointed set of NOMELEC members, and those would be the one who will facilitate the election of the next set of NOMELEC members. So that would be for the term of Dr. Ramos. So during Dr. Ramos' term, his NOMELEC would have been elected.
Yes. Can I add to that too? Ate Lolit, meaning to
Yeah.
say the NOMELEC will still be appointed from 2026 until the election time in 2028. So, and during election time in 2028, the members of the NOMELEC, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Dizon, you can correct me. So the NOMELEC members will be part ballot in 2028.
Yes.
Correct?
If the
Yes.
amendments will be approved by the General Assembly.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
It's pending amendment of this, meaning pending approval of this during the General Assembly. I think I see Merly, Dr. Amira.
Hi, everyone. I just have a question on the Section 1 bylaws amendment proposal. So it's stated here that you will have 8 elected members representing the 4 regions. And then you will have 2 members elected from each region. But
Correct.
what will happen if you have only like 1 candidate from a certain region? So you won't be able to have 2 members from each region, right?
That's
Correct.
correct. So
Yeah.
we would only have
I-
one
Mhm.
elected representative for that region.
So with that, we are not really following the amendment proposal wherein you will have 2 members from each region.
That's right. So we have not really discussed if there would be no candidates or the required number of candidates for each region. When we were developing this, we were under the impression that people will nominate themselves to be part of the NOMELEC. And maybe we can take it back again to the NOMELEC committee to ask what happens if there are no candidates.
Before the election, can I add something else?
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, so the members will be elected. So when will be the election? Is it with the same time that we have the PNA election, the every 2 years election?
Yes.
Or is it different? Oh, okay, all right.
Yes, there's no separate cycle for the NOMELEC. It would be in conjunction with the regular election.
All right, thanks.
Okay, can I add to that too? I was under the impression also that these proposals, what we are voting for actually is the concept of having elected members of the NOMELEC. Okay, so that is the reason why all the details pertaining to that are still not quite ironed yet, because they were waiting for the general membership to approve this. That once it's approved, they do have like certain concepts of how to go about this, but not up to that detail yet. For example, your question about the two representations of every member, or elections, where the region elect the two, or is it a general? So all those details are not quite ironed out yet, because they are actually waiting for the approval of this concept of having elected members.
All right.
Thank
you.
There's one more person who
All
raised their
right.
hand, Jerry Asuncion.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This Jerry, yes. I think that is one of the important and essential role of the nominating committee. Thus, we really do not want to remove that from them, doing the active solicitation and campaigning. I think to Ms. Merly's point, if there is no candidate or there's only one candidate applying for that position, then it's really, the responsibility of the nominating committee to review potential candidates and do some strategies, campaignings, encourage people, educating people to run for the office. And, this is where the nominating committee really plays the crucial role on making sure that we have the right candidate running for the position to be the next, to determine the next leaders of this organization. Removing that responsibility from them, initiating solicitation, really, I'm afraid that in the future, there's really nobody would want to run, and nobody would take that responsibility on encouraging people to run or strategizing on how can we get people from running to the office. So that's something, I want the team maybe to reconsider again.
Yeah, good point, Jerry. You know what? Let me call on Dr. Tuason.
Sorry, I spoke.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So let me thank you for the opportunity to speak. So the first question that I have is, in the bylaws, the amendments are presented at the membership assembly already to be presented as a package, meaning is the purpose of tonight to make amendments to what you are already presenting? Are these open for changes still?
No, actually, our purpose for tonight is just dissemination of these proposals that were approved by the executive board for presentation already to the General Assembly. So with the bundling of the proposals, in my experience in the past, is that it depends on how the executive board will have to present it, or decide to present it that way. seems to me that all three have differences. It doesn't really, for example, there are three different entities. The way I look at it, that I think it needs a vote for each statement. It's just coming from me, but I was not privy to that idea about bundling it for the General Assembly.
Right. Let me
But
clarify my
yeah,
let me
okay.
clarify my question. The idea tonight is for information, but I wasn't sure that you were ready to take changes from this group, because I thought that the process for the amendment is it goes to a particular committee and those amendments are presented to the assembly. Because if this is the case, there will be a repeat of this during the assembly. Because if you're going to present them to the members, they may have the same questions as we have tonight. So I'm wondering what the purpose of presenting them tonight, if one, we can change them, or the second one is this is really just for information. Because as you can see, there's a lot of questions about this. The first question is, I understand, about not representing for the two regions, but when you're changing this for equity, we need to make sure that there must be representation from the regions. Because if you
Sure.
have nominating committees that are dominated by one
Mhm.
region,
Mhm.
to me, it's not even how many candidates. You must have at least 16 nominees so that you can select 8. Because if there's only 8 candidates for the election, that is not an election. That is just a shoe-in. Whoever gets nominated, and there's only 8 of them, we're really not
Oh,
electing them.
correct. Yeah.
So to really have an election, the goal of the nominating committee should have at least 16, 4 from each, so that we have a choice as to who we want to be members of the NOMELEC. So you are right. There's so much details that I think need to be discussed even before they get presented to the assembly. So if we're open for discussion at the assembly, I suggest that we allocate time for this, because this is going to
Yeah.
be a very long conversation at the General Assembly.
Well, yeah, thank you for that comments, Dr. Tuason. And you are right. There's still a lot of moving parts, in this. But like I said, our goal is just to present it to the general membership. And as I can see that there's a lot of questions, still. So according to our amendment process, the committee that proposes it brings it to us. We present it to the executive board. Executive board approves it for presentation to the General Assembly. And our responsibility at that point is to disseminate the information, which we are doing now, plus the emailing of these proposals. And now when it gets presented to the General Assembly, it depends on the executive board, how much time they will give you. And as we have witnessed in the last few General Assemblies, we really are not given that much time. So if we are not here to persuade you to vote yes or no. We're just giving you the information. So if you feel like this is something that you don't want to vote, so vote accordingly. To us, this is just dissemination of information. Like I said, the details, I think, is not all complete because it's pending the approval of the concept of the election and process versus the appointment.
Yeah.
So
I
you're right. You're right.
I just want to end it. I really thank the committee for thinking forward. This is very progressive. I think it's about time that PNAA, with the resources and membership that we have, that we are elevating the process by which we elect, and getting the nominations committee to be elected is the right way to do it. In fact, I will challenge you that I would even offer that the past president should not be the chair, because there's also influence with that. To me, the chair of the nominations and elections committee should be appointed by the members who are elected. So if you elect 9 of them, they should select their own chair. With the American Nurses Association, the one who gets the highest vote automatically becomes the chair.
Yes.
Because
Correct,
when you have a past president selecting the next president, there will be an appearance of influence. So if we want to stay away from the idea that we're influencing elections, let's have all the members of the nominating committee to be elected. So thank you for the time.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Tuason.
Chair De Jesus, this is Jay.
Yeah. I think there was another one that was that we called on before Dr. Tuason.
There were several questions that were posted right now in the chat. Is it okay if I can go through it, or do you want us to finish
ahead,
first?
Nadine. Yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
All right. So one of the questions we have is from Dr. Manny Ramos. Can a special election be conducted since majority of the work of the NOMELEC does not commence immediately?
I think that would be for the executive board to decide if they would want to go that route. Okay, that is actually above our pay grade, Dr. Ramos.
So, Lena, can I just interject? This is May. This will be a long process, and in fact, with the many questions, we really should take note of it and then put it in the parking lot, because there are so many details to these revised bylaws, and every bylaw in turn has a policy and procedure. So the nominating committee will, with all the details of criteria, will it be a past president, will then be inserted into the policy and procedure, the details and the nuances that will go into the bylaws. So can I make a suggestion to us? Because I think this will be a long process. Let us present the amendments that have been reviewed, and then let's take notes of what everybody, and put it in the chat room, and let's have a recording of that, and then go back to the bylaws committee, review the questions, the details, and then, you have another 30 days, because I think you have to go to the executive board again.
Yeah. Like I said,
Lena, this will take a long time. If we're going to be having questions, answers, but I would suggest to present the entirety of the amendments, and then let's have questions and notes and recordings.
Rest assured, I'm keeping a tab of all the questions, so I'm going to email it to the entire bylaws committee to take note. Tita Elena?
I think she's frozen.
She freezes. Nawawala siya.
Didin, this is Jay.
Hey, Jay, we'll take one more, and then we'll proceed with a presentation of the rest. Thank you.
Okay.
Jay.
Good evening, everyone. So I think we need to go back as to what the intention is of the meeting today. From what I heard from Chair De Jesus is that this information was sent by the board for presentation at the general membership meeting. So this will be your first pass, the members' first pass, seeing the information. And I believe there will be copies that will be sent to membership, so you can further review and further read about it. And then when it comes to presentation at the general membership meeting, each item will be presented, and membership will have to vote whether it will have to be approved or not approved. And then once, depending on the result of each amendment of each proposal, then that is where the procedures, for example, of the first proposal, that is when the policies and procedures will evolve surrounding that. So again, you are being presented of the different proposals that were approved by the board. That is where we at with this step. And the next step is for presentation to general membership at the general membership meeting in Colorado. So right now you're getting the information. It will be for you to review, and then you will be deciding at the general membership meeting how you wanted to act on it. Thank you. Otherwise, these questions we will not be able to answer tonight. It's great that you are already thinking about it, of the kind of questions that you will have once it's presented by the executive board at the general membership meeting in July. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for that feedback. I want
Do
to
you
make
have
sure our
any more?
chairman is here.
Yes, I'm back now. Okay, I think there is a chat message from. Do we still have our chat monitors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, our advisor has suggested that we proceed with the presentation of the proposals, and then we're going to take note of the questions
Okay.
for the time being. Thank you.
Okay, that's really all we can do at this point. We'll try and relay all of your feedback and input to the executive board. And I really do appreciate everybody's feedback and input, and all your engagement in this. Like I said, yeah, the rest, it seems to me the rest of the task will lie on the executive board and the general membership, because everything will depend on how you will vote on this. And the NAMILIC is not going to be able to proceed with whatever detailed processes or procedures that they might have in mind without the general membership's approval of going forward with this. So do you have any comments? Or I think there was, are there any other questions? Raised hands earlier.
Okay, Lena, this is Ronnie. There's multiple, as what Eugene said, there's a lot of questions in the inbox, and basically they are a very good point, and we have here multiple of them they are intertwined. So as you have said, there are also questions about qualifications for NOMELEC, which we cannot answer at this point.
No, we can't.
Because there was a question of, there's also a question by Cecile, also former officers be eligible to serve in the NOMELEC. So those are not in the bylaws. I believe that will be on the NOMELEC side. These are just what we are discussing as of this point.
Correct. Correct. Like, I just want to reiterate again that we are just actually presenting the concept of this. So everything else, details about, the concept of election versus appointment. And so whatever details that the NAMILIC has in mind or is in work in progress will come after the approval in the general assembly.
Madam Chair, just a point of clarification, Dr. Twasin also mentioned if there is a space for debate during the General Assembly for these amendments.
We cannot answer that right now, but we will forward that to the executive board. Okay, it looks like there's a lot of interest and there's a lot of questions, so they might give more than what they normally give minutes for discussions during the General Assembly. It actually makes me happy though that at least most agree or kind of approve about having NAMILEC members, including the chair, be an elected position, for just to show fairness and appearance of inappropriety, I believe. So it seems like, some of you have voiced that opinion, but like I said, we have presented the proposals and we will surely bring everything back to the executive board. Oh, there is a note from Dr. Ramira about do we know why there is a very low voter turnout? I don't know exactly. It looks to me like we need to do some research, tracking and trending, probably, since we have all these high-tech people in our midst now. Maybe we can start doing that, where we're failing and where we need some learning opportunities as to get voters more. Yeah.
Thank
So we
you,
probably
Madam
Lena.
Chair.
look and,
Madam Chair,
that.
I apologize. I'm driving, so I don't know who is raising their hand. But can I answer that question, please, to Dr. Amira? It will take less than a minute.
Go ahead, Dr. Twason.
Okay, be careful driving.
The answer really is we have a very high turnout. So in most nursing organizations, their turnout for voting is 10 to 15%. They're actually envious of PNAA when we report about 35 to 40%. That is very high. The national average, even for the Organization of Nursing Leadership, the high-level organizations, their return of participation is maybe 15, 18%. So we are very happy with the rate that we have. In fact, I would caution about just for the return. I mean, we wish we had more people, but sometimes when we make that expectations, then people try to do something and say vote just for the sake of voting. I think they need to vote because they believe in who they vote for. But 40% is a very high return.
I just
You
want to
cannot get
compare.
any higher than that.
Can we compare the previous elections that we had for the PNAA?
From what I
It's
saw,
about the same. I think when Dino was about 50.
This is Jennifer
Yeah.
Dizon. If I
Yes,
can add
Jennifer.
to Dr. Tuasan's comment. Based on the result from last year's voter turnout, it's probably the same because last year, I think we only have over 4,000 members. This year, we have over 5,000 members. So with the voter turnout, it's still comparable. It's not, this is low. We have more members this year.
Well, there's always room for improvement, I think, right? Even if the other organizations, like Dr. Tuason said, is lower, much lower than us, they don't have to be our benchmark, right?
We can engage
be
our
their
members,
benchmark.
right?
That's right. That's right.
Lena, let's focus on the bylaws because it's already quarter to 10.
Time check, everybody. It's
Okay.
8:49.
It's 7:49. Okay. Is there anything else that we can
Ate Elena,
address?
there's
Yes.
Madam Chair, there's another question. There's two actually by Tita Lolita. What are we doing is a sample of dry run that will happen during the General Assembly. Besides, as per bylaws, this amendment must be presented to the members for all the questions to be addressed. And remember, not all members will be able to attend the convention in Colorado. This session is part of the bylaws requirement.
Okay. Yes, Ate Lolet, we have already sent emails to all general membership, or I have to say the EB had already sent emails to the general membership. And I also had followed it up with a letter with the proposal to the RVP and the COPPers last week to be disseminated to their chapters. Okay, but we'll check with the NOMELEC, the proposing committee, and also the EB, and refer to them about the questions and feedback that we received tonight. And it will be, I'm sure it will be a collaboration in how we're going to go forward with all this information that we had accepted today, tonight, I mean. Okay.
There is one question or comments here from Imperlo. It would be good if the bylaws are sent out to the general membership for review before the General Assembly during the PNE convention in July.
It had been sent. It was sent late April or early May. In fact, Marlon actually sent it through Tess Damito, and it was already sent. These proposals were sent to the general membership. Check your spam and see if it's there. But I also, like I said, I also sent it to the RVPs and the coppers last week in preparation for today's forum. So check with your RVPs and your coppers, okay? Okay, any other things?
Yeah, Chris
Any
Escarilla.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Chris. Yeah,
Hi.
that's the one who had the raised hand earlier. Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris.
Hello.
Go
Thank you to
ahead.
the Bylaws Committee for all your work. But I just have one question, and perhaps this has been addressed in your PNP or somewhere. Like you said, this is part of the weeds, in fact. But if we are voting for the members of the NAMELEC committee, that means that the members of the NAMELEC committee may or may not be able to be a candidate again for the coming elections unless they recuse themselves? Or do we have that in our bylaws? Is that being addressed because of conflict of interest?
Chris, unfortunately, we whatever is under policy and procedures right now still holds, because we are just in the process of approving the concept of having elected members versus to the appointment. What we don't know what NAMELEC is gonna be doing or have decided to do yet. Like I said, they have not really ironed out the processes that is needed to do this, because they're waiting for the approval of the general membership. So I'm sure conflict of interest will be part of that consideration when they do decide to move forward. You're welcome, Nelson. Any other before I call on Nelson? Any other? Go ahead, Dr. Tuason. You're muted though.
Yeah, no, the last question is a very, very good point. The way we do that with the ANA is the term of election. I think somebody already suggested it, that the 8 or the 9 people will be elected staggered, so that they're not all running for office the same year, so that somebody always knows the policies. And also their term of office is longer. So instead of electing them every 2 years, the NAMELEC gets elected for 3 years. So that way you don't have to worry about somebody running for re-election the following year, because you're right, there's a conflict of interest because the nominating committee is nominating themselves. But if they're running for 3 years, the chances are they're not going to run for another term, and you may want to limit it for 3 years and then go for the next round. So that's what ANA does.
Yeah. ENA has 7, right? 7 elected members, and then the one with the highest count of votes becomes the chairman.
Yes.
Yes, you always want to have an odd number so that when they elect, there's no even.
Yeah, there's 7. Yeah, there's 7 that they elect. Yeah.
Tita Rolet is raising her hand.
We should take note of Dr. Tuason's suggestion, so that when the policy and procedure is done, we put a staggered election of the officials.
Yeah. I'm sure that Dr. Deason is taking notes of that. She's representing the NAMELEC as we hear. Okay. So it's
Madam Chair, Tita Lolit Compas is raising her hand before we
Yeah.
proceed to the presentation.
Just to add on what Nelson just said, what is important then down the road, the election cycle, there will be changes like every 3 years, and then you have the national. So it will impact on the election company, and then it will be another additional process that will be approved by the board. All of this will change
Yeah.
for the better.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are all great suggestions and very thoughtful comments on, on how to do this right. And thank you, Kat Baylor, for noting that she received the amendment proposals on April 19 from the EB. So April 19, they were sending it already to everyone. And then, like I said, it was sent again last week. But if you want another copy, just let us know and we'll be able to facilitate that for you. Okay? Any other questions that we can answer for you?
Take us 3 hours.
I have compiled 26 questions already, so I'm sure our team will be able to
Very
collect them
good.
and send this to
I
them.
was,
So we may proceed.
Thank you, Didin. Okay. Yeah, is there? It's being recorded anyhow, so we can do that. So if there are any other questions aside from what was asked, we can actually do a ninja raffle. Where is Angelo? We were given.
I have one question from Tito Romy de Vera.
Okay.
Would you be able to include in the bylaws or PNP on the duration of the election and the duration of the campaign?
That's outside of the what our discussion now, right? Who is here? I'm sure of a lot of questions that she is noting right now, and I'm sure one of those will be what Dr. De Vera is giving us right now. Okay. So we have 3 gift cards to give away. Okay, so, oh my God, my internet is unstable again, but Angelo is gonna take care of that for us. Okay, first one, Angelo.
It's Ate Carol. Thank you po.
Yeah, hi. Okay, so I did.
Oh, Carol, thank you. I didn't realize you were there.
Sure, no problem. So I did not include the members of the bylaws committee in this raffle for, conflict of interest. Okay, so your
Okay.
names are not in here.
You are so good.
Congratulations to the winners. Let's see. First one. Wow. Lely Pedro Drake. I'm sorry for the typo. Lely.
Lily, okay. Please
Thank
put your
you.
address, Lily. Lily,
Yes.
put your address on the chat box, please.
Wow. Mispa Amados.
Oh,
Congratulations,
Macau yan
Mispa.
No.
That's not true.
Not true, not true.
Okay, last one. Good luck. Jessica R.
Jessica R.
I don't know what's Jessica's last name, but that's how she's
Okay, Jessica, what
From
what
PA,
chapter?
Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, okay. Please leave your addresses on the chat box. Okay.
Lena, you cannot ask the address. Privacy and confidentiality. They'll have to send it to you privately.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what we did last time, I think. Okay. Just how do we do this?
It still can be sent directly in the chat to a specific person. So to you, she can chat you directly.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And we take at that last that last power slide, Angelo. Okay, thank you so much for your input and your engagement tonight. Okay. I'm so glad that there were a lot of questions, although the bylaws committee are not able to answer most of them at this point. I'm glad though that we were able to stimulate everybody's appetite in getting engaged and changing our governance and and processes through this committee. I just wanted to leave us with this. Laws and bylaws are not ends in themselves. They are the tools by which we ensure fairness, stability, and progress. We amend the letter so that we may better serve the spirit. I hope we keep this in mind when we're looking at our bylaws and looking at the impact and the influence of what we put and what letters we put in there and the spirit that goes with that letter. Thank you very much for tonight, for attending and giving us the opportunity to serve PNAA through you. Good night.
Good night.
And have a blessed night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thank
Do we want screenshots? Screenshot?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Don't
leave
yet. Don't leave.
Oh,
Okay.
nga.
Yes. Let's see. We still have a
Oh,
good number
show
here.
us your faces. Okay.
All right. Okay. Hold on. 1, 2. Smile. Okay. Hold on. Next page. 1, 2. Smile. And the last. Okay. We're good.
Ramos, you need to smile. You won.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nomilek.
Thank you, bylaws
Thank you,
team.
thank you, thank
Thank you,
you.
Chair De Jesus.
Oh.
And the bylaws